Today's story takes us back to a tragedy not far from the plane crash we covered in our last video. This time it centers on one remarkable man that wasn't of the passengers aboard the Ethiopian Airlines Boeing 961 jet that went down just 500 meters from the Galawa Resort, off the shores of Comoros Island. But this is no ordinary passenger. He's a world-renowned photographer, born in Kenya, Africa. Yet his heart and sacrifice were tied deeply to a land called Ethiopia. Tragically, Ethiopia, the country he gave so much to, repaid him not with gratitude, but with heartbreak and ultimately his life. You might wonder, if he was born in Kenya, what brought him to Ethiopia? What made him sacrifice so deeply for a land not his by birth? Every question will be answered in this story. They called him Mo, and today I'll tell you his story through his own eyes. If you know his full name, drop it in the comments. Mo fell in love with the camera when he was just 14 years old. At the age of 15, he was able to join the Photography Association by taking his father's camera. Although his family wanted him to become a doctor, Mo persisted in his position and started working as a photographer. The Photography Association used to buy photos from various professional photographers at that time, and Mo was one of the sellers. So he was able to buy equipment to support his profession by the money he got selling photos secretly, not only to the association, but also to various political journalists. But for Mo, the real value of the Photography Association wasn't the cash. He didn't just sell images. He absorbed knowledge, learning the science and soul of photography. Mo began rising to fame as political tension gripped every corner of Africa. With photography still a rare profession, he found himself in the middle of conflict, taking photo of rebels, freedom fighters, and selling their powerful images to British newspapers. But everything changed in 1956. While he was in Tanzania, that year, 2 South African freedom fighters pulled off the unthinkable. They broke out of prison, hijacked a plane, and flew it all the way to Tanzania, right where Mo happened to be. Wait, 2 men stole a plane to escape prison? That's pure courage. Let's go back to the story. Mo didn't hesitate. He grabbed his camera, raced to the scene, and snapped the iconic photos of the fighters emerging from the aircraft. He sent them straight to the BBC and ITN, earning not only fame and fortune, but also a life-changing offer, a permanent position from ITN. From that point on, Mo's journey was a mix of danger, triumph, and unforgettable moments. In 1966, Mo was arrested for filming and broadcasting footage of rebel forces in Zanzibar. While imprisoned, he endured brutal beatings. Yet even behind bars, Mo's lens didn't go dark. Before his release, he managed to expose the horrific crimes of Ugandan dictator Idi Amin, images that shocked the world. His fearless reporting earned him the prestigious title of Cameraman of the Year in England. But all the danger, pain, and glory he had known so far is nothing in comparison to what waited him in Ethiopia. How did Mo get to know Ethiopia? How did Ethiopia change his life? Why did he love the country that made his life hard? And more other questions will be answered in the video. Let's continue. Mo started coming to Ethiopia when his career is at a peak, as he always travels to many African countries and covering many events. Ethiopia became one of the countries he visited since 1960, but the most memorable time for him was in 1984. In 1984, when Mo arrived in Ethiopia, the country was suffering from a severe drought and famine. Mo said that the videos and photos he took during that time were the most meaningful work he had ever done. Seeing the suffering broke his heart, but it gave his work a deeper purpose. At the time, Ethiopia's socialist leader, Mengistu Hailemariam, was fiercely suppressing all information about the famine. No images, no stories, no truth allowed to leave the country. It was a war Mo was determined to break. He pleaded, pushed, and negotiated with the government, using every ounce of his credibility. And finally, because of his global reputation, they let him in. They gave him access to the hidden reality. And Mo did what he always did best. He told the story the world wasn't supposed to hear. Following the permission he received, Mo traveled to the northern region of Ethiopia, where the famine had hit the hardest. When he arrived, he was stunned by what he saw. Thousands of people starving, entire families on the edge of death, and children too weak to cry. Mo later described the famine, saying that,
"I thought I knew what to expect, but what I saw was far worse. There was food for just 60 people, but 80,000 were waiting, hungry and desperate. It terrified me till this time, but I fall in love with Ethiopian in the middle of the famine, because even in hunger, I saw strength. Ethiopians are a special people. When they had nothing left, they never lost their dignity. I saw mothers holding their starving children, waiting quietly for help. They didn't steal. They didn't fight, they just waited. They were calm, even though they knew they might die within hours. That kind of strength and pride, I can never forget it."
When Mo spoke about the famine time, he recalled how the world mourned for Ethiopia after the films he made in 1984. His powerful images sparked a global response and eventually led to the historic Live Aid music concert. After the big Live Aid concert by the fund raised, aid was sent to Ethiopia. When the aid arrived, 1 million people had died of the famine. If the aid had been delayed a little, the number of people who would have died would have reached 8 million. Thanks to Mo's work, awareness turned into action, and countless lives were saved. After the famine, Mo was banned from entering Ethiopia by the government because of the videos he had made, which exposed political conflicts. But in 1991, everything changed. A coup d'etat brought a new government to power, and the ban on Mo was lifted. Once again, he was free to return to the country. Without hesitation, he returned to the land that had captured his heart. Mo returned to Ethiopia as soon as the ban was lifted. The country was finally stable, so then Mo traveled across the country, capturing everyday life, culture, and tradition through his lens. But just days after his return, a tragic accident changed his life forever. A huge explosion occurred at an ammunition depot in Addis Ababa. Mo fearlessly rushed to the scene with his camera to record the incident. When Mo talks about the incident, he said,
"I was filming the explosion with journalists Michael and Colin behind me. I couldn't see the scene clearly from where I stood, so I moved closer. People warned us not to get too near, but we pushed forward bravely, maybe foolishly, until we were just about 100 meters away. Then it happened, a deafening blast, sharp, sudden, like a mini Hiroshima, ripped through the air and shook the ground beneath us. Panic erupted, chaos swallowed everything. As I turned to react, I saw John get hit and collapsed instantly. In that same moment, a bullet tore through the air and slammed into the camera in my hands. I had instinctively raised it to shield my face. A flash of pain shot through me. The camera had saved my life, but not without cost. My left shoulder had been hit, and my right hand, it took 7 bullets. Michael and Colin, the journalists behind me, were shielded by a nearby wall, but I wasn't so lucky. When the gunfire finally stopped, they found me lying unconscious on the ground. Joe lay beside me dead. I truly believed I would be next. The blood loss was immense. I didn't think I'd make it. They rushed me to a local hospital, but it was barely functioning. No proper supplies, no medicine, even emergency care was a distant hope. Ethiopian Airlines was not giving any services because of the regime change. There was no way out. I was wounded, trapped, and fading fast. But by some miracle, Reuters had a non-stop flight that departed every 8 hours. I managed to get on one and made it back to Kenya. There, I underwent multiple surgeries in a desperate fight for survival. But in the end, I lost my left hand.
Can you imagine a photographer losing his hand? For someone whose entire life was built around the camera, it was a shattering blow. But Mo wasn't just any photographer. He was a symbol of resilience and fearlessness. Just when it seemed all was lost, a call came from Vice News with unexpected hope. A custom camera was being designed just for him, tailored to fit his right hand alone. This moment changed everything. It gave Mo a second wind, a reason to keep going. The new camera, built by Optex, was sleek, lightweight, and perfectly adapted for one-handed use. In the U.S., engineers went even further, developing a mechanical support for his left arm, giving him greater mobility and control. Piece by piece, Mo began to rebuild not just his career, but his spirit. By 1992, just a year after the explosion, Mo stood in the spotlight once again, this time to receive an honorary award for his unmatched bravery and his gift for capturing truth in places where few dared to look. His camera didn't just take photos, it revealed realities the world tried to ignore. But Mo's story didn't end there. He couldn't stay away from Ethiopia, the country that had taken so much. It held his heart. In 1996, for personal work, he returned once more to the land he loved. And when the work was done, he boarded an Ethiopian Airlines Boeing 961 bound for Kenya. Finally, it seemed, he was going home safely. But fate had other plans. In mid-air, 3 hijackers seized control of the flight and ordered it to divert to Australia. For 4 terrifying hours, the passengers sat frozen in fear. But Mo didn't stay silent. He stood up, he resisted. As panic grew in the cabin, Mo eventually stopped resisting, not out of fear, but to protect the others. He knew pushing further could lead to more bloodshed. After hours of fear, confusion, and failed negotiations, Ethiopian Airlines flight ET-767 ran out of fuel. The pilots, desperate to save lives, aimed for the shallow waters near the Comoros Islands. But the ocean would not be kind. The plane crashed just off the coast of Comoros Island, shattering as it slammed into the sea. Mo, who had fought death in war zones, filmed famine at its worst, and survived an explosion meant to kill him, was struck by a collapsing section of the plane. A blow to the head, drowned brutal, and this was his final. He was just 53 years old when he left this world. After all he had endured, it wasn't war or bullets that killed him. Will Mo forgive the Ethiopia he gave everything for? Is love still love when it costs life too? Let us know your thoughts and the full name of this heroic photographer in the comments below. A glimpse into Mo's extraordinary path, photographing life, earning recognition, and standing strong after losing his hand. Hello, welcome to Story of Legends YouTube channel. This is my second channel, and I know you will like it, so just don't forget to like and subscribe by clicking the button below.